Alright, we're going to go under the truck now. And, man, I tried to find a little tripod to set my camera on. I can't find it, so I'm going to have to go in here and just sort of show you what I'm going to do, maybe with one hand, and then stop the camera and come back to it, you know. But we'll get it. First of all, I got to get something out of my car. Now, I want to tell you, I have never in my entire life found a pair of wire cutters any better than this right here. These are called 10-inch cable cutters from Harbor Freight. Because they're Pittsburgh, they have a lifetime warranty. These are item 40507. And I never knew, back when I was younger, I never knew there was such a thing as these cable cutter pliers. But you stick that around a battery cable, you just about cut it with one hand. I mean, they're nice. So we're going to get under there and see how these work. Trying to cut that wire because it's going to be a little awkward for me. I'm going to try to do it one-handed. Every single time I crawl under this truck, I keep saying I'm going to buy me a lift. Oh, me. See if I can show y'all this mess. Where am I at? Let's see. Yeah. See all that wire on there? That's all got to come off. God. So I gotta get down here and start cutting. We'll be back. Well, let's see, there is some red electrical wire, some black wire. This cuts, I like how easy this cuts, one-handed. And it ought to make pretty quick work of all this wire under here. Of course, I'm sitting here, you know, holding the camera with one hand, the pliers with the other. So it's a little awkward, but just demonstrating. I don't know if I could cut all that at one time or not. No. I get a little bit at a time. Well, they don't want to let me cut two wires. Anyway, we'll be back. Well, I got this much freed up. I still got this bird's nest right here to do. Boy, howdy. Oh, well, I went back to Harbor Freight and I bought me something else. This is called a bolt wire cutter. Never had one of these, but I'm needing something where I can reach right up against that drive shaft and clip them wires. My cable cutter does fine, with the exception it's got those big rounded jaws at the end. If you can't take some lineman's pliers and twist that wire out to get that jaw in there, it ain't gonna work. It's really awkward. So I'm hoping that these will do it. These are part number 57221. It says genuine Doyle quality. It's still made in China, but it's a lifetime warranty. Ultimate cutting performance, high leverage design, precision engineered for professionals. And they're showing them cutting chain link fence with it. This high carbon steel construction. So I figured I'd give them a try. They're about $8. Of course, 20% off, you know, coupon. And bolt and wire cutter. So we're going to find out how these work right here. Let's take a camera down there and check it out. I got on Amazon and ordered me a little tripod. I can just about buy one as cheap as I can make one. So, yeah, as you can see, I've been cutting a fool out of it, but I finally got to this mess right here. And that's up in there tied against that drive shaft, and I just have a hard time getting in there. So I'll see what I can do with it. It's awkward to try to hold this camera with my left hand and look in a viewfinder and do all this, but I snipped a couple of wires and I was like, oh yeah. So I want to demonstrate for you. See, that allows me to reach right up in there. And that tip of that pair of pliers just reaches right in there and cutters. So let me get at it. I am pleased with how these are working now. I mean, sure enough. Oh yeah, and they got good leverage on them, so they're not hard to operate. Alright, so I ain't never going to get it down or get it done sitting here talking to you all. So let me put this camera down and we'll get her done. Well, it made pretty fast work out of that. That probably only took about, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes. But the wire's cut free now. I'm going to try to rotate it out of there and see if I can drop it out. Whew, what a mess. But I tell you what now, I like these daggum cutters. I think I'm going to leave them in the glove box. Just in case, because you never know. Well, here's why I couldn't shift out of four-wheel drive low. This linkage will come loose. It's got a hook in there. My brakes. This brake line come loose. See here. Hopefully I have to just screw back together. I don't know. Dang. There's some more wire wrapped around back here. Oh, speaking of wire. Here's the wire that come out from under this thing. Whew. Fuel line. I'm guessing this is a fuel. Yeah, it's a fuel line. Fuel line right here has got a hole in it, so I gotta replace that. So we got a few projects to do, one at a time, one at a time. There's a mess of wire under there, wasn't it? Lord have mercy. Well, I'm gonna tell you what now. I like these. I think anybody's got a 4-wheel drive truck ought to have a pair of these in their glove box, in case something gets wrapped around the drive shaft. But seriously, these did a real good job. I was even able to cut that barbed wire, that real hard dadgum stuff. I chewed the fool out of them now. But cutting edge is still good and tight. Don't see any light through it. It's got good leverage. Okay, I was able to go ahead and just screw that brake line back together with just finger tied. I'll put wrenches on it later. Found out that the braided fuel line from the solid line under here up to the fuel rail, that's what's got a hole in it, so I've got to get a fuel line for that. The 4-wheel drive shifting linkage, all that is a cotter pin, so I'll be able to put that in there. That's alright. But I ain't got no idea where all this wiring is supposed to go that's all ripped out of this thing. So we'll eat this apple one bite at a time. I'm sorry that you don't see the culmination here in part 2, but probably what I'll do now is I'll just start making videos how to replace this, how to replace that on the truck, okay? But that's where we're at. Boy, did you ever see such a mess of wiring all your life? God, I think it's Jack Daniels time. Y'all have a wonderful day, and a better tomorrow. Bye, everybody. I swear I'm going to get me a car lift. I swear I'm going to get me a car lift.